Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling for our TNA 2007 playthrough. We have gone ahead and played an extra week as we are getting ready for Slammiversary. We'll get you some results for our previous couple of episodes. So we recently had Sacrifice 87 rated, where we saw Hassan beat Jeff Hardy to retain the TNA World title. We of course saw the America's Most Wanted beat Christian and Chris Jericho for the Tag Team Championships. AJ Styles won the Super X Cup. So it was a big night. It was certainly a big night. We followed up with one of our best ever shows, 96 rated. And personally, for me, I felt as though this was probably the best show I've ever booked. And from start to finish, just the way it flowed, just the storylines that we covered, just the angles that we produced, I really enjoyed it. So we had Roddy Piper booking a match between Chris Jericho and Christian against America's Most Wanted. A-Train beat El Patron. Gail Kim hyped a match against Lita. Kim Kong beat Sarita and Taylor Wilde. Test and Kevin Thorne showed their support for Abyss over Angel. Fallen Angel beat Kevin Thorne. Matt Morgan taunted Nakamura. Sting teased retirement but was attacked by Scott Steiner. AJ Styles beat Chris Sabin, but he was beaten down afterwards by the Machine Guns. And then America's Most Wanted beat Jericho and Christian to keep the tag titles. And Christian attacked Chris Jericho for, well, disrespecting him, well, basically for letting him down. He felt as though Jericho was the reason why the tag team was going south and why they've been losing. Explosion to follow it up, 76 rated. Molly Holly challenged Melina. Sonjay Dutt beat El Patron. Finally, Sonjay got a victory. Dutch Mantella hyped up Marufuji and Kenta vs. Insane Asylum. Shadow Ward beat Alex Skipper. Natalia defeated Shelly Martinez. Team 3D hyped a match against America's Most Wanted, and Insane Asylum beat Marufuji and Kenta. Then we followed up again with another 96. So this is the one that we didn't see, but I just recently did. Another 96. Incredible, really. To get two back-to-back 96s. So, keeping with the thought of how I booked last week's show, I wanted to kind of continue on that trend. Obviously, we've had success in doing that style and really being a bit more precise with the storylines we're doing. I've created a lot more of my own angles, so getting the things that I want in a storyline, doing it myself. So, we're going more with that style, and it's working. Two 96s in a row. So, we had Christian open the show up by bragging about how he hurt Chris Jericho last week. Hasn't explained why he's done it, just coming out last week and bragging about how he did it. We had Nakamura beat Eric Young, and Nakamura actually suffered an injury. So Nakamura apparently has a staph infection, which is disastrous, and he may miss Slammiversary. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to calculate the days, but he's going to be very close. Matt Morgan beat up Nakamura after his match to kind of send a bit of a message to him. We got Jay Lethal, had a promo. Yeah, that's right, Jay Lethal got a promo. It's rare. He taunted Matt Sydal, then he beat Matt Sydal. 75 rated between these two guys. So two of our lower end guys having a really good match. It was great. Sting and Scott Steiner music video just to kind of hype up that feud. We didn't have any time for them this week. We did Muhammad Hassan and the plants being, or the seeds being planted rather, for his feud with Goldberg. Muhammad Hassan's coming out, taunting the locker room, saying, "Hey, I am unbeatable. Nobody can stop me. I've been champion for this amount of time. I've been dominating." Then Goldberg's music hits. Goldberg comes out, hits the spear, hits the jackhammer, lays him out, and sets up for a potential match. Molly Holly beat Beth Phoenix. AJ Styles hyped up a match against Alex Shelley. The Machine Guns beat AJ and Paul London. So we put Paul London in there, obviously having a bit of issues with Alex Shelley in recent times. AJ needed a partner. 93 for that. So a really good match. A nice little tag match there. Machine Guns were very good, as was Styles. Paul London kind of struggled to keep up a little bit. And then obviously with the King of the Mountain match coming up, we had two men involved in that match take each other on. We had Samoa Joe. Surprisingly, we had him beat Fallen Angels. So 98 rated, incredible match, and I expected it to be great. It gave it 20 plus minutes, but I guess the surprise was getting Joe that victory. Now, Fallen Angel has, I don't know, 81, 82 popularity, and Joe was more 75-ish. We gave Joe the win because I want to elevate Joe, and to be honest, I like Fallen Angel. He's a great worker, but I don't really see him as a guy I want to get the world title on. Whereas Joe, I would love to get him in that position. So We gave the victory to Samoa Joe. Plus, he needs to get to 80 popularity. His popularity is far too low. We've got to get that up. And that's the plan. So great show overall. And then we had Explosion followed up. America's Most Wanted and Team 3D opened the show up with a bit of an argument. Monty Brown beat El Patron. Monty Brown actually had an 80 in-ring performance, which is unbelievable considering that not long ago he was abysmal. So he is really on the rise. I think they may have had chemistry though, I'm not sure. Gail Kim hyped up a match against Lita. Kim Kong beat Alyssa Flash and Sarita. Scotty Steiner taunted Sting, and then he beat Billy Gunn to follow it up, 84 rated overall. So there we go, that's Explosion. And that's where we leave you with our TNA shows. And we are now getting ready for the first show of June. It's a new month. And with that being said, a new month always means new workers entering in the wrestling world. There's a couple of guys that I'm pretty interested in, but I probably won't sign. So looking at June, let's have a look. So the last man to enter in was this guy. I have no idea who that is. One of those Chikara dudes. Mike DiBiase Jr., so the brother of Ted DiBiase Jr. So that's interesting. You could maybe bring him in as a tag team guy, form it a tag team with Ted DiBiase down there. That might be might not be a bad idea. This guy, we don't really need him. But the main guys I'm talking about were the Usos. They've now entered in. And they start off with 50 popularity. I don't know about that, but whoever made the mod decided to give them 50 popularity from the get-go. And they've got some really good in-ring skills. I'm not going to sign them because I don't think that would be really realistic. But, geez, they'd be pretty damn good for the tag division, wouldn't they? So, look, let me know if you want me to sign them. I guess we could, but I just feel like it wouldn't be realistic. But, yeah, definitely good workers. And this last guy, no, announcer. Well, WWE have actually been making a few signings themselves, and nothing really major, but finally they're starting to sign a few people to their developmental system. And we look at it, and let's have a look at worker signings. So, most recently, Johnny Stamboli, he was a WCW guy. He's down there working a pay-per appearance deal. He's got 60 popularity, which is really good. Portia Perez, she's now gotten a developmental deal, so she's locked into a real deal for WWE, which is a good get for them. She's a good worker. Chuck Palumbo signing a pay-per appearance deal as well, so he'll be in OVW. He's already working NWA. He's got some good popularity. He's not a bad brawler. And Joy Giovanni, surprisingly, they gave her a developmental deal, so she's going into their developmental system. And when we got rid of Joy quite some time ago now, her stats were this, nothing. And then all of a sudden, she's just popped up a bit, so you can see her stats are really improved a little bit there. And you can see her basics is getting better, so she's improved out of sight, realistically, really, but she's improved quite a bit, so she might not be a bad get for the WWE, and maybe we'll see how she goes trying to resurrect her career. But she was abysmal for us, and she's been working the indies a little bit, so good for her. So she's finally getting herself a gig. So a couple little signings there, not too much to really worry about, but in terms of signings, I do want to make some. Now, we've got some mail here, and you can see quite a bit of mail. We'll get through it. But Eve Torres, her contract's up. I'm going to give her another 6 months. Her skills, they have improved, as you can see. It's a big improvement from where she started. Look at brawling 19 to 35, chain wrestling 24 to 48, mat wrestling 24 to 56. That's a pretty good improvement. Aerial 19 to 49. So it's a big improvement. So she quite clearly see her basics 30 to 57. She's getting a lot better. 31 psychology, now it's 63. So she's definitely worth hanging on to. And she might end up becoming a decent worker in the end. So we'll give her another 6 months. We'll see where she's at then. Carlito, his contract was actually up. And WWE have now officially given him a written deal. He was originally, for whatever reason, a pay-per-appearance guy. I don't think that was ever correct, but they had him as a pay-per-appearance dude. And now he's moved up to getting a written deal in the WWE. You can see, look, popularity for him hasn't really changed. He had a period where it went up, but it's gone back to where it was. His skills, he is definitely getting better, slowly. He's getting better, so gradually getting better and better. Definitely he's a good mid-carder there. He's a tag team champion right now. Who's he tag team champion with? with Chris Masters. So there you go. Look, Carl Leader would have been great, but I just feel like it wouldn't be realistic right now to bring him in. Perry Saturn, his contract is expiring, and I want to kind of keep him. But I feel like I might bring in someone else. What I'm thinking from my developmental is we've got a lot of young guys, but I feel like we need a couple of older guys in there just to work with the young guys, have good matches with them, and Perry Saturn's been able to do that, averaging 69 for his matches in developmental with the guys that we've got is really incredible when you think about it. His best match has not happened in our developmental, but you can see recently he had a match against Seth Rollins. It was 75, so that's really good, really good. So I think we probably should reward him with another developmental deal. We do have to give him a proper deal and then send him back down, so we'll have to do that. So we'll give him 6 months. He wants a little bit more money, so we'll give him 9.3. Well, he deserves it. We'll give him a bit of a raise, I guess. But he's done some good work there, so he's down there just strictly to work with the young guys and have as good a matches as he possibly can with them. Matt Capitelli from developmental and OVW, his contract is up, and no real interest in there from me. I don't really care. Jeremy Borash, his deal is up, so he's a bit of a TNA guy, essentially, and I feel like we probably should hang on to him. He's been doing color commentary on Explosion, so we might hang on to him. We'll give him another 2-year deal. Harley Race actually died in this game, which is pretty sad, but yeah, he was actually working for us. He was a road agent for us, so he's actually died, so that's put it in a pretty interesting predicament. We have to make some changes. And that's really about it. Oh yes, the Nakamura injury as well. So we'll get to the Nakamura injury. So staph infection, 21 days he's out for. He can't do anything for 21 days. Gone. And that's going to be an issue, isn't it? That's going to be a real concern for us. He was penciled in to get a global championship match at Slammiversary. We might have to change plans. Now it does give us a bit of time to change those plans, thank goodness. But as you can see, we are now 3 weeks away from Slammiversary, so 21 days away. I think he's going to miss it. I think he's going to miss it. So we might have to make a change. He can't wrestle. He can't work through it. I believe he's a genuine, absolute injury. He can't work at all. So he can only do angles. So he's gone. All right. So we're gonna have to find a replacement for him. We need a replacement babyface. It's a shame because I really wanted him to get that opportunity and a chance to prove himself, but it's not gonna happen. You can see we're really lacking in upper mid carders for our baby faces. Really lacking compared to our heels. Let's have a look at the heels. Lots of heels upper mid card, but not many baby faces. So we probably needed to make a couple turns. I think we all wanted to turn Homicide. Okay, some of them are really mid carders. We got a lot of mid card guys that probably R-Truth could nearly be. Probably should be upper mid card in my opinion, so I might move him up. Same with Rhino, so I'd see them up mid carders. So that would fix that issue right there. But who do you use? Tanahashi. Well, Tanahashi's popularity actually gone up a bit, hasn't it? Kazarian, or you can maybe take a punt on Cesaro, Chris Hero, Chavo, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, probably not. But yeah, so Nakamura was the one, but we've already done Truth, we've done Rhino, we've done Tanahashi, so we've done those matches. So you might have to go for a Kazarian or maybe Chavo, or maybe we go for a lower mid card guy. Probably not. Or maybe bring someone in from the main event. But you can see everyone there has got a match already, so they're already booked. So it's a tough predicament, isn't it? It's a tough predicament. You might have to look at Paul London, maybe, or I don't know, or maybe you just don't do it at Slammiversary and you do it the night after, which would have been a shame. You want to do it at Slam, but maybe not. But anyways, we might as well get booking our next shows. But yeah, so it's been it's an interesting week. Some other news, I guess. The Dicks from the WWE, they're breaking them up. What a shame that is. Said no one ever. And it's these two clowns, James Dick, Chad Dick. Yeah. don't think anyone's going to miss those guys, but they're going to keep them as singles, which I don't think is a good idea. Keep them as tag or just release them. That's from one GM to another. Don't bother. Do not bother. But yeah, that's really about it. But so a bit of news, I suppose, heading into our next few shows. So we'll go ahead, we'll book Impact. We'll try and, really be precise again. I guess, we might have Jericho show up this week and confront Christian, or maybe Christian will explain his actions this week, why he did what he did, maybe save Jericho for next week. But we'll have a look. So we'll show you our Impact results in a moment's time. Maybe we might bring someone up from developmental. We might, let's give Perry Saturn a match. Let's reward him, and let's see how good he really has been performing. So let's reward him with a match on the main roster and give him a match this week on Impact. But we'll show you the results in a moment's time. Alright, so the results for this week's Impact. We had Christian open up the show explaining why he betrayed Chris Jericho, obviously because he's, maybe jealous of all the attention behind Chris Jericho. It's all been about Jericho since he's arrived, and Christian's, showing a bit of jealousy. He wants to prove that he's the better man at the oldest time, that he's always been better than Chris Jericho, and he's sick of everyone talking about Chris Jericho, when realistically he believes he's truly the better out of the two. So kind of setting up for maybe a match at Slammiversary. Perry Saturn, we gave him a match against Shannon Moore, and 75 rated. Pretty good. Perry Saturn 73. That's pretty good from Perry. That's still pretty solid. So he's obviously performing quite well still in developmental. Shannon Moore got the victory because he's going to be involved in this Loser Leaves TNA storyline, so we wanted to give him a win to make him look good. Petey Williams taunting, he's going to be involved in the storyline too, taunting Shannon Moore about the matchup, about the fact that he believes Shannon Moore is going to be the one to get fired maybe. Cesaro had a match against Kevin Thorne, which Kevin Thorne wins, he won, so Kevin Thorne got the victory after Shelly Martinez interfered. And apparently we did 2 crazy matches in a row. I didn't think I did a crazy brawl style in this match, so I got that one mixed up. But it doesn't matter. Cesaro 81, Kevin Thorne 63, so I don't think it would have done any better than 73 anyway, so that's pretty good. And we did have a Kings of Wrestling in a Insane Asylum storyline plan, which I forgot that I even had. So I wanted to start doing a little bit of that. We had a music video promoting Sting, who has come out to state that he has one more big match left in him. He wants to prove that he's still got it and challenges Scott Steiner for a match at the next pay-per-view Slammiversary. So Scott Steiner's kind of lit a fire under the Sting's you-know-what, and Sting's got a bit of motivation now to get back in the ring and take on Scott Steiner. Molly Holly versus Sarah Del Rey, 74. Continuing to build up Molly Holly to challenge Melina for the belt. We had Gail Kim hosting a talk show where she introduced Lita as her guest, and Gail Kim says she has a present for Lita. Awesome Kong appears and attacks Lita and slams her through the set. Gail Kim watches on pretty happy with herself, so a bit of an ambush there on Lita. A bit of a bad move by Lita to come out and accept that, but 69 for that one. It kind of went down because Gail Kim doesn't have the mic skills to really carry that type of segment, but we kind of felt as though it was a good one to do, but maybe Gail Kim didn't have the ability to make it epic. Homicide versus Kazarian, 86. In that match, Homicide got the win. We did this because we've got Homicide challenging Matt Morgan to a match, so I feel like we might have Homicide take on Matt Morgan at Slammiversary, and to do that, we probably will turn Homicide to a babyface, which was been the plan for quite some time. Turn him babyface, and then have him challenge Matt Morgan. And probably he won't win it, but it will. I think it'll be a great match. I think it'll be the best matchup that we could probably produce out of all the guys who's available. And plus, Homicide deserves a match on the card. Muhammad Hassan Goldberg, hype video, hyping that feud up. And our main event, Jeff Hardy and Fallen Angel teamed up to take on Samoa Joe and Jeff Jarrett. Fallen Angel 90, Jeff Hardy 94, Jeff Jarrett 85. Jeff Jarrett the lowest out of the lot, that's interesting. Samoa Joe 90. Jeff Hardy has a gimmick that's getting stale. We are set to turn his gimmicks. He's currently Charismatic Enigma. We're just changing him to being Unique Charisma, which is practically the same thing. So, alright, we have to change it because he's been tweaked so many times. So, You have to change it, so let's hope it's still good. Great, very good. And what was it before? Very good. See, this gimmick's actually rated better. So that's a positive. So Jeff Hardy gets a bit of a change to his gimmick. Not really, but we changed him to wearing some the face paint, so I feel like that might be cool. So he's coming out and wearing a bit of face paint to kind of represent his gimmick change. So just something a little bit different about him, and it's just to match his new gimmick. So there you go, 93 overall, 92. So 3 really good impacts in a row. This one not quite as good, but I'm still pretty happy with it. Let's check out some of the news and headlines. Scott Armstrong, he's a referee. He's got 78 refereeing. Yeah, we don't really need that. If he had maybe 85, I'd think about it. Impact 8.82 rating. Really, 8.82. I believe that's a lot higher than what we normally get. 8.82. That's our highest rating ever. So what the hell has just happened? Last week we got 7.85. The week before 7.89. What have we done different? I haven't done a single thing differently, and all of a sudden we've gone up by 800,000 viewers. What the hell? What has happened? I haven't done anything differently, but okay. Has our size increased? Have we gotten more popular? I mean, okay, we are at 80 popularity now in the US, which is incredible. Consider, look, we started this time last year, 62. Look at the rise that we've had. It's unbelievable. So we are at 80. Has that kind of impacted it? No pun intended. So we are national size. To get to the next one, okay, so we won't be able to get to international, but we are certainly getting a lot of popularity in some of the regions around the world. So maybe, I guess that's what's happened. We just had a growth, and we're getting better ratings now, which is crazy. Let's check out some of the changes, notable changes this week. So let's have a look. Who kind of had a bit of an impact? Cesaro had a matchup, didn't really change much. Christian had a good promo. He's still at 88. We can't really get him up. I want to try and get him back to the 90s, but he just won't stay past it. Jericho's nearly 90, so we'd love to get both of them at the 90 mark before Slammiversary. It'd be tough to do, but it'd be great if we can achieve it. Fallen Angel had a victory this week, actually, so he's around that 80 mark. He lost to Samoa Joe, so he did go down a little bit, but it probably was worth it. Gal Kim at 65 with a few segments. Homicide got a victory, so you can see Homicide, around the 73-ish mark. He's had a few, well, some areas 76, 75, so he's doing very well for himself. He's had 10 segments for build up for his turn, so he's ready to turn, no doubt, and we don't need to change his gimmick, so we'll definitely execute the turn. Maybe next week we'll execute the turn. We've been giving Jay Lethal a bit of a push. He's up to 52. He's getting a bit of segments, a bit of TV time for once. I like what we're doing with this loser leaves TNA. I mean, someone's got to leave, obviously, but we're getting a bit of TV time for our low-end guys, an excuse to use them, which is good. Jeff Hardy, Jeff Jarrett, still going well. Lita, 74, and so what, has she improved at all since we brought her in? So she started, she's probably about the same, if not gone down. Melina's at 67, 68-ish. Matt Morgan's at 72, 73, so definitely Morgan and Homicide will have a really killer match. Probably a lot better than Nakamura and Matt Morgan, but yeah, I would like to still do Nakamura and Morgan down the future, though. I think that would be really good. Matt Seidel's about 50. Hassan still at 90, which is excellent. And just kind of looking at some others. Samoa Joe, you can see about 78, 77, whereas last month it was about 76, 77. So you can see he's gone to around that couple points up, getting closer to 80, which is where we need him to be. And Scott Steiner with a few good segments up to 80-ish. Sting, 82, so he's had some good promos as of late, some good segments, trying to build him back up again. Let's hope he can have a decent match at Slammiversary. He's only had 2 matches this year, so that's kind of why the storyline makes sense. He has not been really featured, so it's 2 matches in 6 months. So he kind of, he's kind of got the feeling that his career is winding down. He's not getting the opportunities anymore. What's left for him? And you can see last year, he didn't really have a lot of matches either outside of the Bound for Glory series. You know, so he had a few more past it, but not a hell of a lot. So we just haven't had a lot for Sting to do because he's just declined. But this little story with Scott Steiner is working well, and probably the main event Mafia will spawn after it as well. So give Sting a new role to play. But yeah, so that's kind of that, and that's pretty much all we have time for. I might have a look at SmackDown. 89 for them. So RVD beat Kane to retain the world title. Kurt Angle, Undertaker, 99. Oh, that would have been great. So they're still killing it. You see the ratings difference. They're getting 26 rating, 20 million viewers, whereas we're about 8. So that's not a hell of a, it's a big difference. So we're not doing that bad, but we are very far behind in terms of ratings, and that's just SmackDown. Probably Raw would be even higher, you would have to think. We'll have a quick little look. So Raw, yeah, so Raw was lower. That's odd. Yeah, so Raw actually gets lower ratings compared to SmackDown. Edge vs Ric Flair, 84. Guerrero vs Big Show, 90. So yeah, Raw's a bit lower. DX versus Batista and Ray, that was only 91. You'd think that would be a lot higher. That's for sure. Certainly with the caliber of guys that got in this matchup. I guess Ray's popularity is not as high. Batista's going very well. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have time for. More storylines being developed. We're getting closer to Slammiversary. Slammiversary is shaping up to be pretty good. We got some good storylines in play. We're working hard on trying to make our big feuds epic. As you can see, this Jericho Christian one will probably main event, and that's been really good so far for us. And the tag teams feud, the X Division. We didn't do anything this week for the X Division, so we needed to focus on that at Explosion. But yes, plenty more to come. So thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Total Extreme Wrestling for our teenage playthrough. If you did, leave a like on it. More likes, more episodes. 100 likes, and I'll upload another one for you guys. So make sure you slap the like button for me before you leave. Subscribe to see more episodes from me, and make sure you hit the notification bell so YouTube doesn't screw you over and makes you miss any videos from me. If you don't want to miss any videos, make sure you follow me on Twitter at BrendenPlayz so you can stay up to date, and also on the website BrendenPlayz.com you can see all my videos that I upload on there. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next episode.